She grew up in the Boston area and now lives in Florida. She wrote a special song for this event about coming back home to Boston. Please welcome Jennifer Msumba.
Hi everybody, my name is Jennifer Msumba, and years ago when I left Boston, my doctors were not optimistic about my future, but now I'm back and I'm on this stage and I'm gonna be singing a song I wrote. It's an anthem. It's called the Boston Song. And this is for everyone who's ever been underestimated. Buckle your seatbelts. This is gonna be a long one. I'm gonna tell you the ups, the downs, and the everything in between. It was just such a eventful event, and I guess this is my debrief. I'm just gonna go through it. If you want to go along for the ride, well, here you are. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jennifer Msumba. I make videos about the things I do in my life with my goals to become a speaker and performer and a writer. So, welcome to my channel. I hadn't slept for days before we left. I mean, I'd slept, but I had a lot of trouble going to sleep and staying asleep. Obviously, I was beyond excited because this concert was to take place in Fenway Park, on stage, people in the stadium. Like, that just never happens to people like me. And it was a dream that I was like, is this really gonna happen? And how I got into the concert is, they already had a full lineup. I wasn't part of the Flutie Foundation when this concert was put together. And I saw it on Instagram, and I was like, I would love to be a part of that because it's taking place in my hometown of Boston. My family could come see me, and all those dang doctors that had nothing good to say about me, well, maybe they would kind of know that I was back and that I was doing better than ever. So I kind of did have that on my mind too, which I know it's not very good to have like thoughts like that, but I had them. I'm a human. So what I had to do to get in was they were having a competition to let one more person in the concert. They did a nationwide search. You submitted a video of yourself performing, and they were gonna pick from and then you posted on Instagram and Facebook with the hashtag, and from there they were going to pick finalists, and then the finalists had to play in live on a concert on YouTube. I will link the concert. I will link that concert and what happened in the link below, but I'm so embarrassed, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So I submitted a video. I actually put together a little concert here so that I had like an audience, and I played a couple songs mashup, and I submitted that video. I was an excruciating I think it was almost like, it was like 10 days I had to wait. And people kept uploading videos, and I'm like, oh man, this is getting really competitive. And I was thinking, yeah, I'm not gonna get it because I always try for these things and I just don't get them. So lo and behold, I was selected as a finalist, and I was out of my mind. I couldn't believe it. But now it's another excruciating week to wait for the live results and perform for my life. So another week goes by, the day comes, I'm prepared. I'm like, changed my shirt about 10 times and then ended up with the first shirt that I had on. And there was 4 of us performing for the spot. I had to go first, which I wasn't too happy about, but it is what it is. So I went first, and I got really good remarks, and they were giving like scores on paper. They were writing down like 1 out of 10 scores. So I was like, I got pretty good scores. I think I was like averaging like a 8.5, 9. So, but then I have no idea what the next people are gonna do. And also when you go first and it's a judging thing like that, sometimes the judges will hold back because they don't know what's coming afterwards. It could be like all 10s, you know? And that's what happened. So another kid went and he got like all 10s. And I was like, that's it, I lost. Like, I did the math and I'm like, okay, going by the scores, I lost. So I'm really heartbroken because this is one I really wanted. So I was crying and I was like, I turned off I wasn't on camera at the time, but I turned off my microphone, but I still was like, wanted to make sure they couldn't hear me cry. So I went into the bathroom and I called my brother and I said, bro, I didn't make it. You know, the next guy got like all 10s and I have my scores less than his. And he's like, well, is the competition over? I said, no, there's other people are still performing and I have to go back for the end of it. And he's like, well, get back in there. It's not over. And I was like, but I lost. He said, get back over there. So I was like, fine. So I cleaned up my face with cold water. I go back, put a smile on my face and go. And it comes to the end and they said, well, now our judges are going to deliberate. Deliberate? I'm thinking this is all based on the scores they were given. But if they're going to deliberate, that means they're making a decision and despite the scores, right? That's what my brain goes to. And they were deliberating. They were only supposed to talk for 1 minute and they were talking for like, I think it was like almost 4 or 5 minutes. And the woman that was running the live, like the host, she was like, okay, I don't know how to pass more time, but they're still talking. And I said, what? I said, if they're still talking, like when a jury takes a long time, that means maybe someone's fighting your case. So I was like, maybe I have a chance, maybe. But I still didn't want to get my hopes up. They come back on and put like some suspense in it. And then at the end they said, we couldn't come to a decision for just one person and we've picked 2. And I was one of the 2 that was picked. Man, the tears and the feelings in my heart between the emotional roller coaster that I had just gone on and finding out that I was picked. I was so happy and I started crying on the live stream. I'm almost crying now because just like bringing up those feelings, but they're good. It's a good tears, I feel. On the inside, so I was picked, and myself and a guy named Camden, who's a DJ, we got to go to Fenway Park to perform. So then there's the wait. It's like it was like 7 weeks until the actual concert, which took place on August 24th. So now I'm so excited. And I'm in, but now I have to wait, and I just want it to be here. And so I was practicing. I wrote a song specifically for the concert, and I'll put it at the end of this video. And I was practicing, you know, I was getting advice from my music mentor group, like how to I wanted to involve the crowd. I wanted them to sing this one part that says home. I can't, my voice is like, but it's just a part of the song. I wanted them to sing along. So I was nervous because I'd never asked the crowd to sing along with me. And I thought that would be a good thing to try. So I was practicing that. And every time I would practice, I was like messing up and forgetting the words, having trouble with my strumming pattern on the guitar. So I was just getting nervous, like about blowing it. But then about 2 weeks before the concert, all of a sudden I started playing it well. And I felt comfortable on the guitar with the guitar parts. I felt comfortable calling to the crowd to sing with me. So I said, okay, I'm ready to do this. I got like a million different shirts and pants. I didn't know what I was going to wear. So for this, I packed so much stuff. And I needed really a big suitcase to check, but I didn't have one, so I ended up packing some of my stuff in my support person's big suitcase, which she was checking. Which leads me to the airport. So we're up 3 in the morning. We're in the car on our way to Tampa International, and we thought we left plenty early because our flight wasn't until like 7. But apparently, I always think, oh, I'm gonna take the first flight out. No one else is gonna want to get up that early. It's gonna be nice, easy breezy. No. Everyone else was going out that early. And when we got there, I never checked a bag leaving through Tampa before because I always try to pack light when I go visit my mom. And, you know, she's got a washer and dryer and, like, you know, I have hygiene items there and everything I need. So I don't have to pack a lot when I go on my home visits. But for this, I packed a lot of stuff, and so did my support person. And it was a 6-day trip because I was going to stay with my mom for 2 days and hang out with my brother for a day. So anyways, we went downstairs to the where you check your bags, and oh my goodness, it was chaos down there. I've never been there. It's like you feel like you're in a basement and like you're just thrown to the wolves. And we were like, oh my gosh, what do we do? Did I mention at the last minute I decided to bring lemonade? Yeah, I decided to bring lemonade 2 days before the trip. I was going to board her at the vet where she's treated very well, but A, that's very expensive for 6 nights, and B, I was going to miss her, and I needed her, and she needed me, so I decided to bring her. Thankfully, I got a backpack for her now, so she doesn't have to try to walk so fast through the airport. It's a lot of walking, and you have to walk fast, and people with suitcases, and I'm always afraid she's going to get run over. So bless her heart, I got her a backpack, and she was happy as a clam in that backpack. So anyways, finally we found a person who worked there, and she told us, oh, you got to do your bags here on this machine, and then you got to go get in line over there. And so my support person is trying to put in our information on the touch screen, and every time she does it, it's like not going, or it's delayed. So I'm picking up on this pattern that when she taps it, it's taking like longer than the normal touchscreen to compute what you tapped. So she kept messing it up by trying to go forward when it was still like computing. So I noticed that what was happening. I said, let me do it. I can do it. And she's like, no, I can do it. I was like, okay. I was like, but you gotta wait like a little longer because it seems like it's sluggish. So she keeps trying the same way. It's not working. And just when she decided to let me do it, a woman came over that works. So she asked us if we need help. We're like, yes, please. So she got our tickets to print out, put on our luggage. Then you have to get in line anyways to submit your luggage on the little belt where they throw it around and put it on the plane. So we're in this secondary line, and I'm like, what's the point of the kiosk if you have to wait in line anyways? But that's how it operates. And so the woman separated our line because it was blocking the path for people. So like right where I was, she separated the line and made us move over. This made it look like the line was really short, when in fact the line went from me all the way back behind me. So this lady comes up with her fancy suitcases and just hops in the back of what is supposedly a short-looking line. Oh no, I wasn't letting anybody cut me after all this. We're about to miss our flight at this point. And so I just said it into the air. I didn't say it directly at her, but I was just like, you're cutting the line. That's not the back of the line. And she turned around and looked at me and then just looked back and stood there. Well, this gave the guy next to me some courage, and he actually went up to her and said, excuse me, ma'am, but the back of the line is over there. Because none of us were about to be cut after all we went through. So it was a group effort, but we got through it. Next stop, you go upstairs, you get on the little train, and go over to the security checkpoint. So we're halfway through the line to get screened through security, and my support person suddenly says, I lost my wallet. I'm like, what? She said, I lost my wallet. I think it's on the train. I said, was your license in there? She said, yes, everything's in there. Oh my gosh. If she can't find her license, we're going nowhere. So, she said, I think I left it on the train and someone must have stole it. And I said, well, not necessarily, because one thing I've learned about the airport, people tend to be pretty honest because they know they're being watched from every which way direction, up, down, inside, out, they're watching you. So I said, it might still be on the train or someone might have turned it in. She says, oh, I just know it's stolen. And I said, well, I hope it's not stolen, because in my mind, I was leaving. I was going to get on the plane. I wasn't missing this trip. I was not missing this trip. She didn't know that, but that was my backup plan. I'm sorry. You know who you are. I was going to leave you. But, so she's like, okay, stay in line, and I'm going to go look for it. So I'm in this line, and I'm getting closer and closer to the front. I reach the front, still haven't heard from her. I'm like, okay, well, the man, you know, they're very strict. They tell you, go here, go there. So the man pointed me to go into the line to get screened, and I had to do it. But I'm crying at this point because I'm thinking, where is she? Did she find it? Is she coming back? I looked at my phone, and she had tried to call me, so I tried to call her back. No answer. I'm texting her. No answer. So I'm just tears in my eyes because I just don't know what to do. And then finally, I got a text from her. She says, I got my wallet. I'm trying to get back to you. But apparently, the security guard would not let her cut the line to get back to me, even though she was my support person. He was like, no. And people were rallying for us at this point. Like, everyone knows what's going on somehow. And my support person said that people were just letting her cut in front of them, cut in front of them, cut in front of them to get back to me. I'm crying. I'm up front about to be screened. And finally, I'm like, okay, Jennifer, you gotta do for yourself. So I got the attention of another security agent, and I said, I got separated from my support person. He said, who? I said, my support person. And he said, well, what's their name? And I gave him the name, and he was like, oh, he was not happy, but he did go to find her. And between everybody letting them cut them in line, and him going to find her, she was finally allowed to reunite with me. And she had her wallet. It was all the way back at where we checked our bags. I guess that's where they bring the lost wallets. They told her she was like the 800th lost wallet this year. So apparently, hold on to your wallets at the airport. It's a thing. I'm finding it ironic now that everybody let us cut the line to get to me, but I was complaining about the lady cutting the line for the bag check. It's not lost on me, but it's kind of different because technically where I was in line was where she was supposed to be in line, and she was just trying to get back to me. So I think it's kind of different, but if you want to call me hypocrite, I guess you can, but I don't know. That's how it worked out. We finally get on the plane. Everything's good. And we get to Boston. Oh, we land in Boston, and I'm so happy. And I finally learned where to find the Ubers after a few times getting lost and missing Ubers and stuff. And we get in our Uber, and we go to the hotel, which was called The Verb. And literally, this hotel is right next to Fenway Park. And the guy was so nice when we checked in. He gave us a room because he upgraded our room to a park view. So out of our curtains, out of our window, we can see the trailers, because they have outside trailers for people who want their own little space, because they do, cater to performers and people that might have like fans bothering them or something, so they have their own trailers. And then you see Fenway Park, all the lights and the green monster and all that right there. Unbelievable. Time of my life at that hotel. We got in a day early because my brother said he would take the day off and spend it with me, and he took us around. We went to Newberry Street, he bought me like a bunch of souvenirs. I was like, your brother Warbucks right now. That's an Annie reference, like Daddy Warbucks. Anyways, and we had a lot of fun. We went to a bookstore, to Newberry Comics, and ate some great food and just had a really good time. So then the next day was when everyone else was arriving, and so I decided to hang out in the lobby because that's where all the action was and people were arriving that I'd only met online. And I'm greeting everyone, and two people that help run the foundation, they came in early and they texted me, where are you? We want to meet you. And I met them and they were so nice. And when I say they were nice, it was genuine nice. It wasn't like, oh, we're just being nice because like surface level, because I have pretty good discernment about people and like how they really are on the inside. And they were really kind and just so happy. And I was happy, and we talked for a long time. We were laughing. My brother got to know them, and we were just getting like connected, which was really nice because I was new to them and they were new to me, and I really appreciated them taking that extra time to get to know me and us and be comfortable in person. And then everyone starts arriving as the day goes on. I'm greeting everyone. Yeah, just meeting everyone for the first time. The excitement in the air is crazy. The hotel workers were like beyond accommodating and kind. They welcomed lemonade with open arms, and it was really, really great place to stay. I highly recommend it. It's called The Verb. It's like a rock and roll theme, and it's kind of different. And it's not like your typical like Marriott or something. It's only 2 floors, and it's a great place to stay, and the staff is really nice. Just had to give them a shout out because they did a great job. Okay, so here's where I kind of started getting in my head in not a good way. As everyone was arriving and they all already knew each other, and I started feeling like people didn't like me. I started feeling like, I don't know, really worried. And that's normally not like me, but it was how I was feeling. I felt like that I didn't deserve to be there. I felt like, you know, everyone was like, had so much more experience than me, and just they everybody just they liked each other, and I was new and they really didn't like me. But that wasn't the case. They were so nice, and we were all talking, and they were like, oh, I'm so happy to meet you, but still in my mind was tricking me. My mind was playing tricks on me. And I was thinking, oh, they're all going to do so good, and everybody's excited to see them perform, but like, I'm just here, and I don't know. I started to get down on myself a lot. And by the end of the day, I had tears in my eyes. My brain just really pulled a switcheroo on me. That's all I can say. And so in the morning of the next morning was event day. And I was crying. I didn't want to call my mom because when she sees me crying, she gets like really sad quick. So I called my brother. I called both my brothers. I texted them. I'm like, I need to talk. I'm having a hard time. Can you call me? So my brother called me. One of my brothers called me right back. And he talked to me for like 20 minutes. And by the end of it, I'm laughing. And he got me right out of my head. He just had a way of, he's like, you're Jennifer. You know, you're Jennifer. And that's enough. And he really got me back out of that mind space. But it's really kind of worrisome how quickly that I could slip into that mind space. And I don't like that. And I want to work on that because it wasn't safe for me to feel that way. Like I felt so down on myself, and I didn't want to spiral down. And I was worried about that. And little did I know, but I was also fighting a cold. So I ended up getting sick a couple days later, and I know when I'm fighting a cold or sickness, my tolerance for anything goes way down. So, like, I think that was part of it. We had rehearsal the day before, and I had done my, rehearsed my portion, and then I wanted to, watch everyone, keep watching the rest of the rehearsal. It was like 4-hour long rehearsal, and we had a break for dinner, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch everyone perform. It was really nice just to hang out with everybody, and that's all I wanted. I just wanted to hang out and be part of it. But all of a sudden I started getting really, like, I just was panicked. I felt like these people were staring at me. It wasn't good. So I told my support person, I said, I really think I need to go back to the hotel, that I'm done for the day. Even though I don't want to be, I just wanted to get out of there. Like, I felt like I just had to run out. And I couldn't gather up my stuff fast enough. And I let them know that I was leaving, that I didn't feel well. And they're like, okay, that's fine. But I still felt like they might think that I don't want to be a part of it. And I was part of my worries. So then there was the next day. I told you I was talking to my brother, and by the end he had me laughing. And then by the end of that conversation, my other brother called me. I let him know what was happening, how I felt. I told him that our other brother had kind of talked to me for a while, and he talked to me too, and between the two of them it was good. And then I felt comfortable to call my mom, and I let her know. I was like, I was upset, but I talked to the boys, and I'm feeling better. And I said, I didn't want to call you and worry you with tears in my eyes. I wanted to call you with a smile on my face. So we had to go turn in our instruments at 12 noon. The concert didn't start till 6, but they wanted us to bring our instruments down to Fenway at 12 noon. So we went down there, we walked, it was like right around the corner, and we always went in a group too, with other people. And not only did we turn in our instruments, but for some reason that I'm not sure, we ended up in the stadium, and just like free range in the stadium. I don't know if that was supposed to happen, if they got permission for us, but we were like right there. Like I couldn't touch the dirt because there was like a railing, but it was as close as you can get. It was just, we were like in the front row, where the people that have front row tickets. And so we're taking pictures and making little videos and just running around, and they were setting up the stage, and it was crazy. And we were there for like 20 minutes. And then finally, she said, okay, guys, you got 2 minutes and we got to get out of here. So we finished up our little fun, and we left. Went back to the hotel, hang out some more, had dinner, just getting more and more excited and more nervous. And this, I haven't told you yet, but my family was coming. They've never seen me perform live, none of them. And they were going to see me perform live for the first time at Fenway Park. So my mom was coming. She has the woman who comes in to help her with things was coming. One of my brothers, my sister, and my nephew all came. Plus, one of my old staff from when I was like 16 years old, she saw about the concert on Facebook, and she came. And she even came early, and we hung out for like 3 hours. We were talking and laughing. She was so much fun. And she came to the concert, and it was just so amazing. People turned out and to come see us. And the stand started filling up, and I was getting ready. I was in the second set, and yeah. This is crazy. So I went and greeted my family. My mom had to use a wheelchair because it was a lot of walking to get, where you're going. So they actually were in the handicap section, which I was like, hurry you guys, because there's only so many of these boxes they had at the top for like if you're in a wheelchair, and then the people with you. And there was one that was like center stage, and I wanted them to get that one, but somebody else got it right before they got there. But it's okay, they got the one next to them. And I went and I saw them, and I hugged everybody, and you know, we just talked and they wished me luck. And then my brother ended up coming down to sit where we were in the stands before the concert, while the concert was starting. And yeah, I was nervous, but so excited. And then it was like 3 acts before mine. I went up to the stage and got ready to get on stage. And it's like this really small area, and there was like a chorus that went on before me, so I was kind of stuck where I was. I couldn't get in or out, and I was just stuck in these like this little section of this like tiny section of the stadium. And I'm thinking, how am I gonna get up on this stage? It was like these steep stairs, and then I don't know, it was like kind of really claustrophobic, and I'm sure everybody else was feeling how I was feeling, but also excited to be there and perform. So it was like you had to deal with it. So I'm like putting this all in my mind. So now I'm focusing, okay, I want to get up those stairs. So finally they call me to come up on stage when the act before mine was on. And I'm breathing. And then it's my turn. So they start announcing me and giving my introduction. And he said, go ahead, go get set up, because I had to plug my guitar in and stuff. So I went over there, got my guitar plugged in. I'm hoping to all heck that my guitar works, because half the time, for some reason, the pickup in my guitar just doesn't work. And so I'm like, please just work today, please. So there was a signal. The guy set up my mic, and I was ready. And it went a little something like this. I've come home. Ready, y'all sing with me? Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 yeah. One more time. Oh, yeah. Come around, I've come home. Yeah. Thank you everybody at the Flutie Foundation. So as you can tell, my voice was really shaky because I was nervous. It was biggest crowd, 5,000 people I ever performed in front of, and I was like, did I do okay? And everyone was congratulating me and saying how well it went. But as I watched the video, I'm like, oh, I messed up there. I messed up there. I messed up there. But I think, well, first of all, as the performer, you notice the mess ups more than anyone else, because you know how it's supposed to go. And then 2, it's more about like how people remember how you made them feel. So people aren't gonna sit there and be like, her voice was messed up on that word, or, you know, those little things, because I'm the only one obsessing on those things, most likely. So the audience was just happy to hear my story, happy to sing with me, and happy to join in on this moment together with me and with all the performers. So would I say it was my best performance I've ever given? No, I feel like I got nervous and, you know, I got shaky, but it was a performance of a lifetime for me. And I'm hoping that there's just more to come, because I really enjoy making the crowd feel happy and joining them in my story and inspiring them with joy and hope. I really enjoy that, and I think it's one of my jobs God gave me on earth is to shine His light wherever I go. And I think I'm doing it as best I can, and because He gave me a lot of joy. You know, I was born a happy baby. My mom said every morning when I would wake up, I would say, Mama, today's gonna be a good day. You know, that's just me. That's just part of me. So I want to share that with others that might not be feeling like today's gonna be a good day. So thanks for watching my long video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I was able to be honest about the ups and the downs, about the whole event, and about my feelings and my experience. I would love to do something like this again. If anything, I've just learned more, and hopefully next time I won't be on my way to getting sick, because on Friday after I left Boston and went to my mom's house, I got so sick. So I'm like, oh, that's why my tolerance was cut in half. On top of all the overwhelming information coming in my eyes and ears and brain, my body's fighting a sickness, and it was just a lot for me. So I kind of crashed for about a week. And Lemonade too, she crashed for about a week with me on the couch. We played video games and watched YouTube and took naps for a week. It took us that long. And well, I probably did more of the video games than Lemonade, but she was great wing woman, wing dog, both in Boston and when we got back and took naps. And she just cuddled up with me, and it was so great. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to try to post more videos. I know I haven't been doing a good job, and that's on me. I just felt like, what can I talk about? I wanted to start making this channel more about my accomplishing goals instead of just talking about random stuff during the day. I wanted to be like talking about like working towards things and what my speaking engagements or music and my goals towards those things. So I'm gonna sit down and really write down what I want to do on my channel, and for you all that's valuable and entertaining and educational. So if you guys have any ideas as well, let me know. I just kind of want to pivot from the vlog life to actual like content that has more to it, more substance, if that makes sense. So let me know in the comments, and I'm gonna sit down and work on that as well. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism, for an amazing experience. I'm gonna link their channel too below and their website. Thank you, everybody. Okay, bye.
Driving down Route 93 floods my mind with memories. I focus on the passing trees. I've had my time, cried it out, forgave the ones who made me doubt. Whoa. City life comes into view, sunrise on the blue. I'm happy to be next to you. Boston bound, I've come around.